Welcome to The Sear Show. Join us as we explore medicine, health, mental health, mindset, and fitness, guided by lifelong seeker of knowledge, Sifu Raphael. He will lead us on a transformative journey with groundbreaking insights and extraordinary guests from around the world. Together, we'll dive into the latest holistic approaches to well-being and the profound connections between mind, body, and soul. Sifu Raphael's expertise in positive thinking, resilience, and personal growth will inspire you to reach new heights. Get ready for the Sear Show. It's time to embrace a brighter, healthier, and more empowered future.
Good morning, Jason. Thank you so much for joining me today on the Sear Show. How are you today?
I'm doing good. Good morning, Sifu. Am I pronouncing your name right?
Sifu means teacher in Chinese. My name is Raphael, but either one is fine. That works for me.
Gotcha, Raphael. I'm sorry. How you doing this morning?
I'm exceptional, getting better every day. A little bit every
All
day,
right.
right? Well, I'm so happy that you're on the show because we're going to talk a little bit about mind, body, and if you will, soul, right? Because I think they're all connected. If with the work that you do, you help so many people in so many different ways, but really it comes down to self, doesn't it?
It does come down to self. A lot of things that I do with mindset coaching, mindset performance coaching, is directly tied to a lot of the work I do in quantum hypnosis and meditation, and combining these modalities or practices together. But it comes
Mm.
down to self, and it comes down to self-realization. And so if you can get a person to self-realize in a mindfulness way, then you can start the journey with them.
Mm. Yeah. So why is it that so many people have trouble with this idea, this concept? Let's get
Well,
let's get deep into it. I mean, I'm good with that if you are.
yeah, the concept of you have to demystify some of the different modalities. I use spiritual modalities in my coaching practice,
Mm.
and people struggle with the concept of if we're talking about changing your mindset, or if we're talking about the concepts of hypnosis, but people struggle with, let's just say, hypnosis,
Mhm.
because of belief system. It all starts with understanding that we can reach a certain brainwave state, which is
Mhm.
theta. The theta brainwave state is typically where we work at in the level we try to reach while we're in hypnosis and using hypnosis. We're in theta twice a day
Mm.
when we're watching TV. Athletes train in theta brainwave state. So this brainwave state is very, very comfortable for many. They just don't know that they're in it.
Mm.
But you know, trying to demystify, exactly how it can help you, really change your mindset. Simply like hypnosis, it's used in a number of therapeutic settings. It helps to address anxiety, stress, depression, chronic pain.
Mm.
There's a lot of different things that you can use it for. So I try to get clients to get really, really comfortable, learn how to visualize. And visualization is a huge part of trying to change your mindset, or trying to change or confront a blockage that you may be dealing with when it comes to mental health as well.
Mhm.
People with mental health issues, it's all about getting that person to come to some form of self-realization, Also, as coaches, we question, we use smart questions to help the person discover,
Mhm.
and once we can get them to agree, that yes, I have an issue, because none of this stuff works without a person actually saying, I see it, I have to change it.
Mhm.
So I think that a lot of it, why do people, not don't really see the big picture, is because we have to help them demystify these concepts and show them that, hey, listen, you can make a change.
Mm. You did mention that we can go in theta stage when we're watching TV. So you telling me a couch potato can actually go into theta stage, just
Yeah,
like an
theta state is all
athlete?
about Yeah, theta state is all about concentration. Yeah, when you're focused on something, that you're moving into the theta brainwave state. When you're jogging, you're typically in theta.
Mhm.
Like I said, most athletes train in the theta brainwave state. But when I'm using the clinical hypnosis application, uh, our goal as a hypnotist is to move you into the theta brainwave state so that we can start programming,
Mm.
reprogramming them with using scripts, using the introduction, using another deepener to move you deeper into the theta. But when I'm using quantum healing hypnosis, and I'm not sure if you're familiar with Dolores Cannon, but the quantum healing
Please
hypnosis,
share, please share.
yeah, Dolores
Thank you.
Cannon, this is a deeper state
Mhm.
of hypnosis, and that type of hypnosis is used for you to explore a different aspect of yourself. It's used to in a lot of cases, people use it for healing,
Mm.
physical disease, or healing of deep mental issues. In this form of hypnosis, we typically are in touch with your higher self, with the mind, the conscious
Mm.
mind, and we're able to affect changes that much quicker. You have to realize the brain is a hard drive. Okay. And it's a hard drive with an operating system. And what we try to do is create neural pathways. And this, we try to create neural pathways in the brain, which means that we're creating different opportunities for new learning. And then
Right.
when we do our hypnosis scripts and our inductions and all that, we're trying to create different responses and different outcomes for the patient. But the quantum healing hypnosis does that, but it does it in a faster, it does it in a more quicker way than clinical hypnosis, because
Mhm.
of how far theta we are deep in theta. It's the somnambulistic state. That's the state that's right under the theta, and the only thing that keeps the patient awake during the session is my voice. They're aware of where they are, but the voice keeps them awake, and I'm
Mhm.
able to do wonderful things, with this type of hypnosis.
Mhm. I love that, and following your voice, and you have a great voice for that, by the way. So
Thank you.
when we think about it, you cannot be speaking fast when they're under this state, correct? You have to kind of like gently guide them because you are, like you said before, reprogramming them. And I love the fact that you said that you're using scripts because there's a certain way that we have to approach the subject matter, right? When I think of what you're doing, I think that you are touching a place that people are afraid to touch, which
Yes.
is deep inside of themselves. To be honest, right? Because a lot of times we are not honest with ourselves. And for me, a lot of people always lie. And the person they lie to most is themselves because it's either I'm not worth it, I'm not good enough, all these negative connotations that we imply and we put them on ourselves. Maybe somebody ever maybe we were younger, somebody said it to us, and then we start to believe that nonsense instead of realizing that we are such an incredible human being with this incredible, and you said it, a computer. But what I love, and that's why I said, when you asked me how I was doing, I said I'm getting better every day, is because we can absorb millions and millions of, I guess, information, links of informations, ideas, concepts, consistently, constantly, every day, in and out. And there is no limit to how much we can put in it. I mean, we can have brain overload, if you will, right?
There's no limit. And, and oftentimes when we have a Microsoft computer, we've been working in this software for a number of years, and all of a sudden, it starts to freeze, and we have to upgrade, and we have to download the newer version. And the same with the brain. Oftentimes, we have all these limited beliefs. They were the beliefs that are not compatible with the construct that we live in every day.
Mm.
So we have to upgrade. And you're right. In order to put someone in a deep, relaxing, focused state, my voice, the cadence has to be such that it's believable. I can't tell you to imagine. I can't say imagine you're in a beautiful place, and you see the skies, you see the trees, and can you smell the ocean? That's not believable. I have to,
Right.
I have to, make you think that you're in this wonderful place, only a place that you deem to be beautiful, a
Mm,
place that's acceptable. Can you smell the water?
mm,
Can you touch the sand? So I have to be very um, visual and speak as if I was there with them,
mhm,
which helps them move deeper and deeper into this wonderful place, so that I can um, um, help them be more susceptible to the suggestions. And the suggestions I'm giving are the script, and it allows me to then upgrade the software,
mhm,
and move new thoughts, and remove limited beliefs. And then clients, the subconscious mind actually takes in these suggestions, and that's
mhm,
why it's going to be trying to change your mindset, or you're trying to change a habit, or working to I want this promotion on this new job. These suggestions can't happen just one time, Raphael. You have to do consistent sessions. There's a study out there that says, for clinical hypnosis, you need at least 10 sessions, actually change your mindset or change a habit, or whatever you're trying to do. You need about 10 plus sessions to do that. Quantum
mhm.
hypnosis, which takes you so much deeper than just regular clinical hypnosis. You can do it in one session, but it's about 4.5 hours.
Mm, right. And nowadays most people don't even have that time. So I understand why we have to do that many sessions. I
Exactly.
I I love I love how you talked about the cadence of your voice,
Mhm.
because it is that, I guess we got to start a little bit with trusting in you, right? As the person, if you're going to hypnotize me and you're going to take me on a, if you will, on a journey deeper into my own mind, that I have to trust
Yeah.
that you're going to help
Yeah.
me and guide me, right? So I have to
Yes, sir.
come with one thing when I come to see you, and to me, I'm looking at it and thinking about it, and I think I have to come with faith, right? Not just a religious faith, but a faith that I'm coming to you because you are going to facilitate that which is what I need, that help, which is what I need, that deeper connection within me, right? So I think faith is one of the most important things, because if I come in all negative and not believing in you and not this is nonsense and stuff of that nature, I don't believe that I will benefit. But if anytime when I go into a place, if I go into a pool, a swimming pool, and I think, oh, if I get in the water, I'm going to drown, fear is going to start to set in, right? But if I go into the pool and I go, oh man, this is beautiful. I love to swim. I love to go under. I love to feel everything. It's that belief that we have that will allow us to go deeper, right?
Yeah, setting your intentions is huge, and trust when you're dealing with a coach,
Mhm.
when you're dealing with when you're praying to God, when you're anything that you do in life, even if you're manifesting, you have to trust in whatever it is that you're trying to manifest, whatever it is that you're trying to seek. And
Mhm.
in regards to what we're speaking of, hypnosis, the trust is so important. There are three things that we try to impress upon the different clients that want to experience this journey or want to change their mindsets. And then the first thing is, um, and I say to the clients, if I ask you to visualize something, do it to the best of your ability. Number two, if I ask you a question, answer it the first time and be very, very honest. And number three, talk, 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 talk. So you want them
Mhm.
to, first off, be able to visualize things beyond normal.
Mhm.
It really, really helps when you're trying to move into a different state. Number two, answer the questions honestly. But even prior to that, Raphael, the interview portion, when you're actually doing your intake, the
Mhm.
information that you're receiving to figure out where is the blockage, where is the problem, why can't you move to junior executive or to an executive level? There is a reason, and
Right.
typically it's childhood, and in some cases it's in another past life, because I do past life
Mm.
regression. Yeah, I do
Mm.
past life
That's
regression
beautiful.
as well.
Mhm.
And sometimes, we have to figure out where is this issue you're having. So we go through a number of questions, just as we would if we were interviewing a potential client to coach, because you can't coach everybody, and you cannot
Mhm.
take people that are not a good fit for you. And you're better off saying, "Hey, listen, I don't think we can work together, but I can refer you to someone else." So
Yeah.
we
No,
we
thank you
we
for saying that because it's you're 1,000% right, and I say that all the time. But I think we need to hear that. And so many coaches, that's why they're broke because they they want to help everybody, but we have to be
can't help
real, right?
everybody.
You can't.
You can't help
You can't.
everybody, and people will start off with you, and they think that they want to be in your program, and then
Mhm.
there's so much going on, and they like the sound of being in it, but they're not ready yet.
Mhm.
Yeah, I didn't mean to cut
No.
you off, but
No, no,
when
but
you're when
I cut you off, so I apologize. But you were so dead on because you're 1,000% right. Listen, and here's the thing, a lot of people, and we also think about competition. Oh, I got to take everybody, otherwise I'm gonna. No, because
yeah,
as a coach, you want to be happy too, right? And if you
you
take the
want to be
wrong
happy because
clients, they're gonna mess you
yeah,
up.
you can't give them your best if you're not happy. You can't give a hypnosis session if you're not totally if your frequency is not at the highest level. You can't
Mhm,
do a guided meditation for a client if you're not feeling your best and your frequency is not at the highest level. They will get nothing out of it.
mhm. Yeah. No, thank you for that, because that to me is so important.
So when we're going through this intake session, we're trying to get every piece of information we can get from
Mhm,
the client so that we can understand where the problem is. And once we can get that information, then we're able to say, okay, we think we know where it is. But during that process, you're building trust.
Mm.
And that's the trust portion of it. If you interview a person for a short period of time, there's no trust. They're not gonna buy into what you're attempting to do from them. So that you have to just really, really listen. You're asking questions. The best advice for coaches and practitioners is to be great listeners. And by listening, you'll get the trust of the client.
Mhm.
I've had clients that call and I'll just sit there. I'll ask one question and they'll go on and on and on and on, and I won't say a word. And then they'll kind of stop. And I'll say, "Okay, I get it and I understand that. Now let's ask another question. How long has it been since you've seen your mom?" And that's just an example.
Mm.
And then they'll go on and on and on and on. So the longer you are able to understand the client, better and the more solid the trust would be. And like you said a minute ago, once you have the trust, the sessions are a breeze.
Mm. Yeah. One of the things that I have a couple of businesses. One is people don't necessarily trust me when they first come in to see me because they don't know me, right? And in one of my businesses, they trust that I'll be able to do the work because they've seen my work.
Mm.
Somebody else has recommended me, and that's my woodworking business. I don't advertise. I never have, and I get tons of referrals all the time, and it's because people either went to their house and they saw something, and all of a sudden they're like, "Oh my gosh, that's beautiful," or "That's so functional," or this or that, and they're like, "Who did it?" Well, I got to tell you the person, and I was without knowing. I worked in a community of 800 homes, and they had a private Facebook group. I was the only one in there. I didn't
Oh,
even
wow.
know I was in it. And the reason is because they trusted. They said, if you need any woodworking, anything like this, built into whatever, moldings, anything like this is your guy. They actually did a whole thing just for me without me even knowing. And one day I said to somebody, "So how'd you hear about me?" Because I know they're in the community. And they said, "Well, you're in the Facebook group." I said, "I am?" I said, "What Facebook group?"
Wow.
"Oh, it's private. We can't even let you in it, but you're in it." And I said, "Oh, that's very interesting. Thank you." And I said, "Who else is in it?" They're like, "Nobody." I'm like, "What do you mean?" They're like, "You're the only one for the type of work you do." I said, "Wow." That was huge for a community of 800 different homes to be able to put me in there. So I built
Wow.
trust just because of my work, of my integrity, right? Of the way I walk into somebody's home. I don't just walk into their house, I take my shoes off. And if I have tools, I bring a blanket, I put it down. And I always have all the right tools with me. And when I in my martial arts business, that's why they call me Sifu, that means teacher in Chinese. What I do is I let them sample the class. And
Hmm.
then I used to take everybody in as a customer and I said, too many headaches. I said, no good. So what I've been doing for the last several years is I give them 1 month trial. And I said, you can try it for a month. And it's super cheap. And I said, but this is a trial for you and it's a trial for me. Because I'm going to see if I even accept you as a client, and you're going to see if you accept me as your instructor, as if you like this place, and if you like what we do. If you don't like what we do, that's fine. We can part as friends. So I always leave that door open just in case they're not the right fit, because I also let them know this is what I expect from you, just like you do, right? This is what I
Yeah.
expect you to be able to do. So we are slowly building that trust. But for me, I don't jump into the trust. I allow them to feel comfortable first. And then I say, hey, listen, I have an option for you. If this works out on both our ends, right? So I give them the out. before they fully commit. I said, you don't have to sign up, because I'm going to be honest with you. And I tell them right up front, I don't take everybody as a client. I don't. And people are like, they're
Yeah.
taken back because I had a guy say, well, you don't want my money? I said, it's not about your money. I said, I'm going to allow you into my family. Once you come here and you fully enroll, you're part of my family. And they're like, oh, now I get it. Right? So yeah, trust. And I love that you do that, and that you give them the 3 questions, the guide, in order for them to feel comfortable. Because I think what
Mhm.
you do is really exceptional, and I appreciate you being on the show today, because this is what we're talking about: mind, body, and soul. You know, I would love for people to be able to reach out to you. Jason, would you mind in the private chat just put in your link so I can throw it up on the screen and let people connect with you? I think what you're doing, your cadence of your voice, I even love it on here. You're not harsh. You're soft spoken, but powerful enough. Also, and I think that's an important aspect, that when we go to be guided by a coach like you, we want somebody who is assertive, but somebody who is kind and caring and open hearted. And I can see that in you. So thank you, my friend.
I
Yeah,
put it in there.
I
Okay, you
got
got
you.
okay. And
Yeah.
and thank you for that. And so putting together all these different modalities, hypnosis, energy healing. I'm a level 3 galactic energy healer, and it's sort of like Reiki. Um, my studies in psychedelics, my studies in the subconscious mind. I'm a remote viewer as well. Quantum healing hypnosis, clinical hypnosis, and you package all these practices, um, and you move them into a mindset program for clients, and helping people try to change their mindset. Helping people to develop this self-awareness about themselves. Um, and when clients come to you, you want to actually check them out, and you want to look at them to make sure that they are ready for it. Everybody wants to change their mindset, but they don't want to do the work. But
Mhm.
we want to help people recognize the limited beliefs, the limited thinking, the cognitive disorders they have that could be holding them back, and that's the key to a person actually moving themselves from where they were in this dim, dark place to a place that they can feel like they've, gotten themselves back to the light. Um, and I mean, I'm pretty sure you have techniques for changing mindsets. And I use a few techniques to help people change their mindset, so that they can, really, really reach their potential. And one of the things I really like to share with clients are affirmations. I think affirmations are very, very important. When a client can repeat positive statements over and over, it can really, really help them reshape beliefs. They could really have some poor beliefs that they've instituted, but it really, really helps them reshape their beliefs. And then even before that, I want to know exactly what it is you want. you know, w-
Yes.
what are you trying to change? And then we try to figure out, okay, what is holding you back? And once we can figure out what is holding you back, then we start the different modalities or the practices. We start then trying to um, implement this structure around you to change. We may do a regression session to find out at what point did you have the daddy drama or the mother drama,
Mm,
or
mm.
in what lifetime? I mentioned past life regression, and that's
Right,
the
right.
beauty of having all those tools in your bag. when you're doing the coaching. Some coaches, they learn traditionally. They learn to do executive coaching, and they learn, life coaching, and all those are wonderful because the coaching industry is a $1 billion industry.
Hmm.
I've come from a different aspect of it. I've come from the spiritual aspect with putting all the modalities and all the inner work that people do with figuring out themselves first. So we use these to figure out exactly what the problem is, find the issue, and once we found the issue, then we can start to work on it, start
Hmm.
to release some of the trauma using different techniques, like we've been talking about the entire show. And once
Right.
we're able to finish that portion of it, then comes the reprogramming. So we move from figuring out what you want, identifying the problem, then attacking the problem. And once we've completed all that, then we come back and now we start to integrate thoughts. We start to reprogram the mind, the subconscious mind, through journaling, through affirmations,
Mm.
helping people put thoughts on paper, helping them organize their life. And that allows them to reflect on exactly what they want. So we start to reprogram the mind. We teach people mindfulness,
Mm.
meditation. I'm a transcendental meditator. I meditate
Yeah.
twice a day for 20 minutes. And TM, I know you're familiar with it, but meditation is a huge key in helping you
Hmm.
just realize yourself. And a lot of this work, Raphael, is self-realization, is realizing you. And
Mm.
it helps meditation and mindfulness helps you become aware of yourself, let alone other benefits of lower stress. In some cases, it lowers your blood pressure. Helps you become aware of people around you, their feelings, your thoughts. It helps you um, overall become more less immune to what's going on around you in this world. A lot of rustle and rumble and tumble, and it brings
Mm.
you that much closer. So I teach all the clients how to find a place where they can find peace. And once they're able to do that, they can recognize negative thought patterns, and we can begin to implement new thought patterns. So this whole next portion of the coaching program is for reprogramming the mind and moving new thoughts and moving all the things that you want, because carefully I've already written down everything that you wanted, and I've
Mm.
scripted each small things, little things. We put them into a lot of different hypnosis scripts,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
create these audio self-hypnosis audios for the client so they can listen to them. And then the last
Mm.
month of the program, we show them how to sustain. We show them
Mm.
how to continue this process, because most people who enter a coaching program with you, Raphael, they're awesome while they're in the program. And once they finish the program, they carry it for maybe a few weeks, maybe a month.
Mhm.
They're
Mhm.
back doing the same thing. So I want to teach all the people that I work with how to maintain this, how to actively vision board, how to
Mm.
actively meditate, how to actively notice that, oh, I have some negative or limited thoughts coming my way, how to use emotional intelligent reps or PQ reps. I picked that up recently on how you can stop a negative thought from coming just by focusing, using small mindfulness techniques.
Mhm. I
So
love it.
that those are some of the quick steps on what I try to do with clients.
Mm.
And I just came out with a new book, Empowered by Consciousness, and I talk about a lot of these things in the book that what we're talking about right now, but I give people a much closer understanding, um, more of a blend of practical advice, um, in an exploration of your own consciousness, because I'm really really big into the subconscious mind and understanding how to use it. Um, and I just try to offer a lot of different experiences that I've had, expert interviews that I've conducted, and like I said at the beginning of the show, research to demystify,
Mm.
these different modalities that people are so afraid of, and they just don't know anything about.
Yeah. My God, you said so much. I love it. The more you speak, the more I'm like, man, you're like my brother. You really are. Yeah. Uh,
Yes.
I know we both have the same father, right? Because, and you're a man of God, I can tell. And if we're all connected this way, right? We all have, we may have different mothers, but we all really have the same father. I'm talking about God, obviously. And I had a gentleman on my show, Gordon de Meville, and he calls God Papa, which I thought was amazing, right? Really cool. Um, but one of the things you talked about affirmations, and I had a coach say to me, "Oh, that's hoopla, that's nonsense, that's this and that's that," but it's not, because guess who has a stack of cards that reads his affirmations every day, right? And the reason, like this one, I attract positive energy. I'm living my best life. I'm blessed by God Himself. I'm on a journey to fulfill my destiny. My destiny is to enrich others to greatness. I live a life of abundance. So, all these different things, and just reading them is not enough, because a thought is a thought, but unless you put it to action, then it becomes something. So, if you have a thought, but you don't say it, right? And you don't act on it, then that's why I say, what are the cemeteries full of? Most people answer, dead bodies. And what I say is, dead dreams, because they didn't fulfill everything that they dreamt about, right? Imagine if you went to a cemetery and you can look across the field and you can see people's dreams, right? And there was like a light that came out and said, these are their dreams. Where would we be in this world if people fulfill their dreams, right? How much greater would we be? How many more inventions, how much more progress would we have if people followed up and did the right thing? So I love that you're doing and getting deeper into the subconscious, because that's one of the things I use my subconscious to learn. I go to sleep and I pray to God to please guide me and teach me something while I'm sleeping, so that I can be a better person the next day, so I can help my fellow brothers and sisters, so that I can be a better person. So when I say I'm getting better every day, even a little bit, it's because every time I say it, guess what I must do? I must get better every day. If not, my day is wasted. So when we say the words, when we proclaim them, so a lot of people, they say, yeah, I have affirmations. But if you don't say them, if you don't hear them with your own voice, then they're just thoughts, and thoughts are fleeting sometimes, right?
Well, the subconscious mind, and you're right. The subconscious mind is very, very, very interesting.
Mhm.
The subconscious mind guides us from when we're born to around 7 years old. It is operating and is protecting us
Mhm.
that entire time. And at around 8 years old, the conscious mind takes over, and the conscious mind begins to absorb everything around you, the
Mhm.
construct of the way you live, and it starts to shape who you are. But it's interesting when you said I try to live by my subconscious mind, because you can live subconsciously, and a lot of instructors, spiritual teachers teach how to live subconsciously, and people say, well, how do you do that? Well, the key is, I believe, is meditation. When you're
Mhm.
able to, in particular, transcendental meditation, when you're able to start off on meditation It's kind of rocky. And let's just the analogy of an ocean. You can hear the water at the top making the noise. You're
Mm,
starting off with your meditation. As you get deeper into the meditation, you can hear the marina noise, the bloop, 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 bloop. You can hear the noise in the middle of the ocean, the
mhm,
sounds of just water. And the deeper you get to the bottom of the ocean, is transcendence,
mm,
is peace. And once you can reach transcendence and a level of peace and a level of just serenity, once you practice this over and over and over and over, and we know that anything that you want in life, you have to practice to get good at it. Once you practice this method, then you're able to hear. You're able to
mhm,
now hear your conscious mind, which is the left side of the brain, which is the studious, and which is the, I need to know the answer, and I'm driving this deal, and I'm doing this. And you notice I'm saying and I'm the person to make this decision. Or the subconscious mind, which tells you, I wouldn't say that if I were you. Don't yell at your daughter. That's the
mm,
voice you hear before the conscious mind makes the decision for you. The more you're in tune with yourself, the more you're able to distinguish between the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind typically gives you the answer to the question that you're looking for in about 1.3 seconds. After that, the conscious mind gives you the answer. I
mhm,
can say that because in remote viewing, as a scientific remote viewer, and I'm also an associate remote viewer, we're
mm,
taught to use the subconscious mind to locate different objects, unknown places in different dimensions, or at any point in the world or universe. Associate remote viewer, we can predict future events, predict the outcome of a game.
mm,
We can predict the stock up or down. We can predict a business deal, good or bad. But
mm,
how are you doing this? We're taught to use the subconscious mind to give us the answer.
mm,
And the way we do that is to differentiate between what me, what that the
mhm,
conscious mind is saying and what the subconscious mind is saying. And once we are able to, we use a pen, and when we're given a question to discover, or we're given a topic to use remote viewing skills, we typically draw an ideogram. And once we draw this ideogram, we touch it with our finger, or we use a pen to touch it.
mm,
Data in this scribbly line. And once we touch the data, your subconscious mind knows everything about you. It knows all your memories, all your different lifetimes. It knows anything that you want to do and have done already. So
mm,
once you are able to touch this ideogram, instantly information transfers. But if you're not in tune with yourself, you
mhm,
won't get the information. So that whole concept of living subconsciously, I had to go through all that, but that whole concept of living subconsciously starts with differentiating between the conscious mind thinking for you on a daily basis and making these decisions, and the subconscious mind, which has been suppressed down, that's really, really giving you the true right answer. And once you can bring the conscious mind down and the subconscious mind up in their kind of level, you're able to live subconsciously because you're able to differentiate between the two.
mm. Yeah, without a doubt, without a doubt. Wow. It's so powerful when we start to incorporate that, right? The subconscious mind. One of the things
Yeah.
that last night, actually, I was talking to some of my black belt candidates, right? They're brown belts now, but they're promoting, or at least they hope they can make it, December 1st and 2nd. So it's going to be like a 7-8 hour that they have to go through this grueling process to become a black belt, because I don't give it away. You have to actually earn it. So one of the things is I said to them last night, I said, you have the will and the choice to have your will come to fruition, because you can will yourself to not quit. or you can quit
Mhm.
at will. And they're like, what do you mean? I'm like, well, let's say we do this thing called horse stance. So think of a squat, right? No weights, just a squat, just holding it like a seated position. Legs are parallel, but they have to hold it for several minutes. Their legs start to shake. And I say, you allow your mind, you will it to say, my legs are shaking, I'm going to get up. That means you willed the quit. You quit before the time was up. Or you can tell your mind that no matter what the legs are going through, you will not quit. And they were like, oh, I get it. I said, well, you
I
have to
love
be
it.
strong with your will. You have to be strong because most people don't become black belts. Most people don't have the tenacity to go through that. So I said to them, you are the few whoever will become black belts. I said, but it's still a test. It will be grueling. And if you fail, that doesn't mean that you didn't do your best. I said, but if you want to do your best, you have to will yourself to practice every day. And you have to say, I will not quit. And so they were thinking. And then afterwards, I said to them, let me ask you guys a question. If I gave you $1 million right now and said, everything I've ever taught you, you exchange it for the $1 million. That means if you're ever confronted in a situation where you're attacked, you're about to get killed, you cannot use any martial arts whatsoever. But here's $1 million. What would you do? Every one of them said, I don't want the money. One person said, you can't put a price on my life. I said, very well said. And then I said, but you guys just turned down $1 million. Did you know with $1 million, you can turn it to 100 million? And one of them like, oh, I didn't think of that. I'm like, well, think about it. I said, so if you're not thinking what you can do with $1 million, what can you do with your training? I said, what if you turned your training and you made it worth, let's say you gave it up, you said you're not giving it up for $1 million. And one person said, you can't put a price on it. I will never give up my martial arts. But I said, but you're going to throw it away the minute you stop practicing. I said, 20 years from now, if you're not practicing, you gave it away. You gave away that $1 million. I said, what do most people do when they win a lotto? And they all said they lose it. They throw it away, basically. They give it to people. They spend on nonsense. I said, yes, but most people who know how to handle money will make an abundance of it. So I said, what are you going to do with your martial arts? Are you going to help other people? Are you going to help your grandchildren when you have grandchildren? And some of them they're not even married. And I didn't say your children, I said your grandchildren, because I want them to think forward, to think way ahead. And so all of a sudden they left last night. There was an hour and a half training, and they were like, wow, this was an amazing class. But about 20 minutes of it was me going into their conscious mind so they can start working on their subconscious. Right. So I think
That
that when we empower somebody to become more, I think we're definitely giving them more.
and that's absolutely correct. And you know, to become a black belt, there has to be a tremendous amount of belief,
Mm.
a tremendous amount of trust, and zero fear. Because when you look at it, fear is one of the main things that keep all of us from being what we want to be or reaching the next level. And there's always this fear of this blockage that stops you, and you have to be strong. And you told the students, right? You have to tell yourself that, I will, finish the program. I will do this and I will do that. And those are the same affirmations you're using every day, the same ones, and they're very, very powerful. And in a sense, it's manifesting. In order to manifest, you have to have a positive outlook on life, a positive and outlook on most things, people around you, your situation. You cannot manifest, or you cannot will yourself if you have a negative opinion or a negative view on on one or two, three things. You can't do it. So if people that are in that situation that are trying to achieve highly highly skilled training like martial arts, um, it's best to participate in programs like that, with love and with
Mm,
a sense of peace about yourself. Those
mm,
are the people that are in corporate America that continue to excel. Those are the people who are athletes or small business owners, or your average everyday person that continue to excel. The ones who choose peace, love,
mm,
and positiveness, positive vibrations all around them. Those are the people that excel at a number of things. Now, I'm not saying that if you're a negative person, you can excel. You'll just excel at a lot of negative things, because whatever you think,
yes.
whatever, you know what I mean? Whatever you
Yeah.
think, whatever negative vibes you give off, that negativity may come back. You may rob a bank, which is
Mm,
a low vibrating negative thing to do, and you'll get the money back in a negative way, and you can live this life of hate, and not the meaning you won't be successful, but you'll be successful at hate.
mm,
You'll be successful at whatever you want to be successful at. So
mm,
we have to realize as people, whatever the frequency, whatever the vibration we give out off, is what we'll get back. And it's your
yeah.
choice, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Jason, I got to tell you, we ran out of time, my friend, but man, what is a great conversation. Thank you so much. By the way, I am an avid reader and I would love a signed copy of your book if possible. And I think that
Absolutely.
everybody should get your book and everybody should definitely reach out to you. And it's jasonmedlock.com, people. Make sure you follow him. If you have social media, we need to connect. Do us all a favor, share this episode with everybody. If you're listening to it now, if you're looking at it a replay, go back, either re-listen to it, share it with your friends and family, and especially your loved ones, because we need to help one another, right? Every day, we need to make something positive in our lives. And Jason, you've been positive in mine today. You, my friend, are an exceptional human being. Do me a favor, don't go away. I want us to say goodbye to everybody, but I want to just chat with you for a quick second. What can you say to the listeners now, in what they can start to do in order to start living a better life?
Um, the road to self-discovery is important. Everybody must try to discover themselves. And transformation is okay. Just because you have friends that are doing this or doing that, um, if you want to transform your life, if you want to move yourself into a better place, it's okay to practice mindfulness. It's okay to practice meditation. It's okay to practice self-awareness. And I just say to people that are listening, these practices will help you gain anything you want in life.
Mm.
Anything you want in life. It may sound boring or corny, but don't let the outside world influence how much you're able to increase the abundance in your life. Try it, and just say best wishes to you.
Yeah, beautifully said. Thank you, my friend. Everybody, have an
All right.
exceptional day. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Thank you.